One of the things that we do to ensure that we are doing our diligence with regard to content design is we start with a content discovery workshop. This one is kind of blanked out as to the client that it was for, but I can show you, when you zoom out, you can see just how much stuff we're asking. It's a couple of hours. We try to get stakeholders that are really important to the conversation in the room. Usually it's the person who owns the project and then a couple of other people from their internal teams that have great opinions or that need to be heard, or they're kind of sit at various different levels of the organization. So you can kind of get a sales perspective and a marketing perspective and a CE level perspective and a lower level perspective. But we walk them through a series of exercises to try to get at the nature of the content for the website. We talk about all sorts of things in these things. And this one, we started with their story, like is the story that we're wanting to tell. They had some previous branding stuff. This was an example of a client that had brand already sort of halfway there. And so we just needed to understand what we were seeing and what it meant and how to execute on it. And then we would ask things like, that are sort of brand level questions, like kind of what's their why, what's their how, what's their what, to kind of hear things from their own mouths and kind of cue in on the language that they're using when they talk about themselves. We do these card sort exercises about brand tone, where we have all these little cards and they can move them around and say, hey, we are this, we're not this, we're not sure if we're one or the other. And then we talk about it. But then, we talk a lot about audience. Like, who are your audiences? Who are you talking about? Who are they? What are their goals? What are their motivations? What are their frustrations? What are the sensitivities they have about the thing that you're selling or the thing that you are or the thing that you're doing? And what are the jobs to be done? And that one's a really important one. What is the goal of the website for this audience? What do they need to accomplish when they go to this website? Or what do you as a business need to accomplish by them having done a thing? So we talk about all of those things in term and then triangulate all that into just information that we have in our back pockets to know how to kind of plan that experience. We often will start with their current website and walk through it and say, hey, what's working? What's not working? What are some opportunities? What can we really do if we do a really good job here? And my favorite question, what's the single most important thing that this website has to do? I always love asking that question. If I only have one question to ask, I would just ask that. I'm sure that would be terrible if I only had one question to ask. But if I only have one, that's the one I would ask. And then we talk about, and sometimes in the content discovery workshop, we'll talk about SEO. Sometimes our SEO person, Michael, will join us and have a bunch of questions. And then sometimes we'll also talk about design, because we're trying to kind of get a feel for where they want to go, plus get a feel for who their audience groups are. After we do this, we'll often interview audiences. Interview people that are clients, current clients, prospective clients, people that love them, people that maybe don't love them so much, if we can get a hold of those people, and kind of just create that compendium of knowledge about the audience and what they want, what they expect, what they think. And in this case, in the content discovery, it's all tuned to figuring out how should we present information on the site? How should we structure the site, which is what comes next? How should we figure out how the story flows through the site? How many clicks do they want to experience before they get to a certain piece of information? How do they want to receive all that information? And then after that, we go a lot of times into wireframes. And this is actually after sitemap wireframes. And I just wanted to show you this because this is, a pretty comprehensive set of wireframes for a site that we just launched. And you can see all the back and forth here. And part of content design is collaboration. Going back and forth with all the people in here, like that little thing is a icon for our UX manager. And he's talking to our designer here. This is, I can see Lemmy, our technical manager, our Webflow developer in here talking to both of those people. I'm probably in here somewhere talking about copy and, hey, why don't we put bullets here instead of a big long paragraph? Or I think that the user really needs, or the research has told me, not even just I think, the research has told me that the user is really keyed in on this one piece of information. We need to move that to the top of the page. So that helps us collaboratively decide page by page by page by click what is going to go where and what the best place and the best way to show that information is. So it's a lot of back and forth, and this is Figma. We're all in Figma together, and we're doing this collaboratively. And the way that this was done pre-Figma is we would just like kind of huddle around a desk and get a piece of paper out and draw stuff and like say, yeah, I think we should put this box here and maybe we should move this here. This is so much easier and so much more efficient, and we can get so much more done. Plus, we are a decentralized team at Edgar Allan, so I am doing this. If it's me, I'm doing this with people that are in Buenos Aires, that are in South Africa, that are in Serbia, that are all over the world, and we're doing it in real time. And it's really, really awesome. As our design lead Chesley says, everybody in the pool. So we're all in the pool.